Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Thursday, May 23 recap. Dex decides no Sonny charges. Ava's secret move against Alexis. General Hospital, spoilers recap for Thursday, May 23, reveals that Anna Degun, Finola Hughes, summoned Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, to tell her about Jack Brennan, Charles Mashur, seemingly stabbing himself and hinting that he wanted her to visit him at GH. Carly made it clear that she barely knew Brennan, but Anna still seemed worried that she'd try to go see him. At Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bennett Penthouse, Ava Jerome, Maura West, downplayed what happened with Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, and got updates on Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, putting his badge first. Once Ava offered a prediction on Christina coming around, she tried to blame everything on Jason Morgan's Steve Furton. After Carly showed up, Sonny echoed Ava's words and acted like the whole Dex Heller, even Hofer, situation escalated because of Jason. Carly asked who Sonny would blame once he ran out of traitors, but he sent her on her way. Ava praised Sonny for his restraint once they were alone and said it was almost like Carly wanted him to be estranged from his children. Over with Dex, he appreciated Christina offering to testify on his behalf if he pressed charges, but he hadn't decided what to do yet. Dex eventually showed up in Anna's office and left her horrified once she saw his beaten face. After Dex said this was off the record, he explained what happened with Sonny and how Christina was willing to testify against him. However, Dex was uncertain of his next move since he didn't want to endanger the baby, but he also feared not reporting the crime might tarnish the badge before he ever put it on. Anna acknowledged things weren't always that simple when it came to being a cop, and suggested that although the crime was against Dex, the ramifications could affect other people. Anna also hinted that maybe it wasn't the right time to go after Sonny, though it was totally up to Dex if he wanted to report him. Regardless, Dex wasn't obligated to press charges here, so he decided he wouldn't. At Hamilton Finn's Michael Easton apartment, Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, pushed him not to throw away his sobriety, but he argued she wasn't in charge of his decisions and flew into a rage. Finn warned that Liz could either stay and make friendship bracelets with Violet Finn, Jafeel Love, or leave. Once Finn opened the door, Elizabeth walked out and watched as he slammed the door on her. After Liz got Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, on the phone and admitted that his brother needed him, Chase came over with Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Seton. Brooklyn noticed the open bourbon bottle and offered to take Violet for a walk so that Chase could talk grown-up stuff with Finn. Violet ended up at Bobby's with Brooklyn and voiced her fears about something happening to her own dad. Brooklyn assured Violet that Finn was strong and healthy, so she insisted he'd be around for a long time. Back with Chase, he also saw the bourbon bottle and pushed Finn to tell him everything that went down this morning. Finn told the story of finding deceased Gregory and admitted he wasn't sure how many drinks he'd had. At the Quartermain mansion, Lois Cirillo, Rena Sofer, and Ned Quartermain, Wally Kurth, comforted each other as they worried about how Chase and Brooklyn were holding up. Later, Giovanni Mazza, showed up ready to move in, so Lois told him that Yuri, Cyrus' hobby, could handle his luggage. After Lois admitted Gregory passed away and caused the newlyweds to cancel their honeymoon, Gio worried this wasn't the right time for him to stay there. Lois quickly offered reassurance and felt certain this was the right place for Gio, so he embraced her with gratitude. At the hearing in Albany, Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, acknowledged that she committed perjury, but that was at the medical board hearing. Alexis didn't find out until later that the legal board had met about her disbarment, and Fergus Byrne, Lane Davies, was originally part of that panel until his own law partner replaced him. Once Alexis insisted she wasn't given fair treatment, she pushed for the name of her accuser. Fergus eventually admitted it was Ava Jerome, so Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, flipped out and pushed for a separate hearing since this changed everything. The panel denied Diane's request and only allowed her a 10-minute recess instead. In private, Alexis complained to Diane about Ava trying to get back at her over Julian Jerome, William DeVry. Between that and Fergus' own vendetta, Alexis felt her disbarment had never truly been about the law. Diane and Alexis ultimately learned it was time for the hearing to resume. General Hospital spoilers say Alexis will keep fighting for her career, so stay tuned for news on this hearing's outcome. Port Charles buzzed with tension and intrigue on Thursday, May 23, as old vendettas and hidden secrets came to the fore. The episode unfolded with dramatic turns that kept viewers on the edge of their seats, particularly around Dex's pivotal decision and Ava's stealthy maneuvering. In the dimly lit interrogation room at the PCPD, Dex Heller sat alone, wrestling with a decision that could alter the course of his life and the lives of those around him. The evidence against Sonny Corinthos was compelling, and the pressure from the authorities was intense. But Dex, who had been working undercover to gather information on Sonny, was facing a moral and ethical dilemma. He knew that testifying against Sonny would not only betray the man who had come to trust him, but also unleash a torrent of chaos in Port Charles' underworld. Detective Chase entered, carrying a file that seemed heavier with implications than its actual weight. He placed it on the table and sat across from Dex, his eyes searching for any sign of wavering in Dex's resolve. "This is your chance, Dex," Chase said, his voice steady but urging. "You can take Sonny down and put an end to his reign." Dex looked at the file, then back at Chase. Memories of his interactions with Sonny flashed through his mind, the moments of unexpected kindness, the time Sonny had shown him a different side of his otherwise ruthless persona. Dex took a deep breath and leaned back in his chair. "I'm not going to testify," he said, the decision final in his voice. Chase's eyebrows shot up in surprise. "You're making a mistake, Dex. This could be your one shot at getting out clean." "Maybe," Dex replied, his gaze unwavering. "But I can't do it. Not like this." Chase sighed, recognizing the futility of pressing further. He stood up, gathering the file. "Just know this won't end well for you." As Chase left the room, Dex felt a strange mix of relief and apprehension. He had made his choice, but the consequences were only beginning to unfold. Meanwhile, across town at the Metro Court, Ava Jerome was in the midst of orchestrating a plan that had been weeks in the making. With her characteristic poise and determination, she navigated the hotel lobby, her mind racing with the intricacies of her scheme. Her target, Alexis Davis. Ava had always been one to hold grudges, and her recent encounters with Alexis had left her feeling both slighted and threatened. Alexis, ever the crusader for justice, had been digging into matters that Ava preferred remained varied. It was time for a strategic counterattack. She made her way to the bar where her confident and occasional partner in crime, Nina Reeves, was waiting. Nina looked up from her drink, curiosity etched on her face. "What's the plan, Ava?" Ava smiled, a hint of mischief dancing in her eyes. "It's simple. We're going to feed Alexis just enough information to lead her astray. Make her think she's onto something big, something incriminating, but completely fabricated." Nina raised an eyebrow. "And what exactly do we gain from that?" "Time," Ava replied, her tone matter of fact. "Time to secure our interests and ensure Alexis doesn't get too close to the truth." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of a text message on Ava's phone. She glanced at it, her smile widening. "Looks like our first piece of bait is ready," Let's see if Alexis bites. At the invader office, Alexis was poring over documents related to her latest investigation. She had a hunch that Ava was involved in something shady, and she was determined to uncover the truth. Her phone buzzed, indicating a new message. She opened it, her eyes narrowing as she read the cryptic tip about a supposed meeting between Ava and a known mob associate. This could be it, Alexis muttered to herself, a sense of anticipation building. She grabbed her coat and headed out, determined to follow this new lead, unaware that she was walking straight into Ava's carefully laid trap.